My name is Dr. Leslie Van Romer, and I am a chiropractor in this community. I'm also an author and a cheerleader, trying to help you transition to the next level of health and weight, your ideal weight. And I am happy that you're here tonight. Thank you. This is the second part of Kiss Yo-Yo Diets and Fat Goodbye Forever. And tonight's the practical part. Last week was the more trying to get you to understand the theories behind why diets don't work and how we get stuck and how we can get unstuck. So tonight we're going to do the practical part. So I'm thinking that by tomorrow morning you can go home and you can actually use some of this information. I love philosophy and information and all of that, but the bottom line is if you can't use it in your own life and it's not practical enough, what is it worth? So tonight you have your pens and you have your papers, so we're going to try to actually design a plan for you. So it's just a little skeleton. It's not, you can flesh it out on your own, but it just will give you something to go home with so that tomorrow morning you can really just jump in and get started. I am actually going to start with the ending, and I want to read something to you. Kincaid Nichols, who is Katie Nichols, who I've been working with for 22 years. Kincaid Nichols is Katie's son, and I was actually at Kincaid's birth. So I'm very close to him. I feel like he's one of my own. And he's now has a track scholarship at Central Washington. This is his first year. He's a freshman. And this is what his coach gave to all the track participants. And I just thought this was very inspiring because, you know, it's for us too. So his coach sent this to him and to everybody else. Dare to be special. And that's my challenge to you tonight. Dare to be the special person that you are. Set a goal. So set a goal, and we're going to do that tonight. And remember your goal and your goals. Dare to be good. But beyond that, dare to be great. Dare to be the champion that you are. See, some things are universal. Whether a teenager is 18 years old or whether we're 75 years old, it's all the same. The will to win is the will to prepare to win. So I'll say it again. The will to win. And what are you doing tonight? You want to win your health, don't you? You want to win your body. You want to win energy. You want to win all that you can be. So the will to win is the will to prepare to win. Because it doesn't happen by some magical fairy dust. It happens with work. And when we think it's going to happen in a day or a week or even a year, we get disappointed because we're not perfect. So remember, it's all about progress. It's not about perfection. So I'll read it once more. The will to win is the will to prepare to win. So we must prepare. And that's what we're doing here tonight. We're preparing. And all the presentations that I have planned all during the year, those are all about preparing. So yes, you're going to get off track, but who cares? Just get on track again. And just adopt a simple plan, a simple plan. A simple plan with 3 rules. Add, stop, and wiggle. So add the best food for you first. And what are the best foods for you? Fruits and vegetables. So we're going to learn how to wrap our day around fruits and vegetables. So when you wake up in the morning, you can say, okay, what do I get to add to my day? Not what you're going to subtract, what you're going to add to your day. Stop. What does stop mean? Yes. Stop eating when your brain tells you you're satisfied. That's before your stomach begs for mercy. And that's the hardest one, isn't it? Because we are addicted and hooked into those foods. We are physically addicted to those foods, literally. It's under the radar. We don't admit that it's an addiction, but it is. So we're talking about addictions to what? Sugar, salt, meat, the flavors, the spices, and all these foods that we were brought up with. So that's the stop part. Stop eating when your brain tells you you're full. And the more fruits and vegetables that you eat, you know what happens? Something magical happens. Your brain stops. It's exciting when that happens. And it's before your stomach is full, full, full. By the time it's that full, it's too many calories. And then we wonder why it shows on our bodies. The third rule is what? Wiggle. The third rule is wiggle, and that's the fun part. It means wiggle room. So give yourself wiggle room. Give yourself flexibility. It's interesting. I was working at a show exhibiting the book this past week in Las Vegas, and it was a very male audience because it was in the chiropractic arena. Of course, 75% of the chiropractors are males. And the males would look by the display. Of course, it says, getting into your pants, and you know what the males are thinking. And then, of course, they won't say anything to me. And then they have a funny look as walking past the display. And the females come right up to me, getting into your pants, and they just think it's cute and funny and up and positive, and they know exactly what it means. And what it means is what? We want to look good. We want to feel good about ourselves. And by golly, we want to get into our pants. And so, yes, we don't want to get diseases, and no, we don't want to end up getting cancer and chemotherapy and radiation and diabetes and have to have shots and drugs and doctors and all those things. But the bottom line is, right now, we want to just get into our pants. So that's, if you can just hang on to that and know that you can do it step by step by step, that's the important part. And speaking of step by step, when you were a baby and you were learning how to walk, did you just get right up and start walking? No. You did? He's a guy. When you were a baby, did you just get up and start walking? Probably not. You probably learned to sit up first. And then you probably learned how to crawl. And then you probably learned how to hang on to the edges of furniture to just try your way, feel your way and try to get your legs under you and try to gain some strength in your legs. And then you probably fell a few times when you took a few steps. You take a step and you fall. You take a step and fall down. You take another step and fall down. And the people around you, your parents and brothers and sisters, whoever was around, what did we all do? Come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby, get up, baby, come on, baby. You fell down, you went boom, come on, baby, get up, baby, get up, baby. Don't we do that? Don't we praise the baby for taking those steps? And then the baby takes another step, and then maybe another step, and then the baby falls down, and we're like, oh, baby, isn't that funny? And isn't this so fun? Come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby, get up, baby, get up, baby, get up, baby. Look at how we are around babies. What, in case you've forgotten, watch how we adults respond to babies. And what do? As they get up and they fall down, they get up and fall down, they get up and fall down, they get up and fall down. Those are baby steps. We don't say, bad baby for falling down. What is the matter with you? You're such a failure. You're so lazy. You have no self-discipline. That's exactly what we say to ourselves as adults, don't we? Because it's not all about just you have a new idea and you decide you want to eat better, you decide you want to transform your body, you decide you want to lose 35 pounds, and you decide you want to have energy, you decide you want a new job. You know what? It just doesn't happen just like that. We start walking, we fall down. We take a step and we fall down. We take another step and we fall down. So instead of beating yourself up, remember the baby. You're taking baby steps and say, you know what, I'm doing good. You know what, I'm doing good. You're taking steps forward, and that's all that counts. That you're taking steps forward, and yes, you're going to fall down in the meantime, but in the meantime, please say, get up, come on, get up. You're doing a good job. Come on, get up, and really be your own best cheerleader. And then have a person or two around you who can also be your cheerleaders. So remember the baby steps. This is just a fast review. Remember that diets don't work. And the reason why diets don't work, as I said, this is a quick review. We went over this last time, which will be on DVD if you want that. Diets don't work because they, number one, restrict calories. You don't get enough calories, so you actually starve. So therefore, we get cravings when we're starving because we also don't have enough nutrients usually in diets. I'm talking about the diets. Diets that give you this much food to eat in a day, and then we're wondering why we're starving and why we have these cravings. There's also usually too much fat and cholesterol in the typical diets. Our weight yo-yos. Of course you can lose weight, but you can lose weight doing chemotherapy. Does that mean it's good for you? No. So it's not about yo-yoing, is it? It's about shifting your thinking. And as you shift your thinking, then you shift your choices. And as you shift your choices, then your habits start to shift. Do you just start zooming ahead with perfect habits right away? No. You're going to fall down, and you're going to fall down a lot. It takes a long time. Carrie, who works in my office, she's been doing this now for, I think it's over 2 years now. It's just now it's starting to gel for her, and she's starting to really enjoy the foods that she's eating. She doesn't miss the other foods. She doesn't have the cravings, and she's lost, I think she's lost 30 or 35 pounds. And she said to me the other day, you know what? It's been 2 years. It just takes time. So be patient with yourself. And then a lot of the diets are what? They're high animal protein. So we're going to talk about that next time, actually, not this time at all. They also perpetuate this myth. We think that we must control our hunger drive to lose weight. The hunger drive cannot be controlled. So we're setting ourselves up for failure if we think we're going to fight this hunger drive. The hunger drive was your God-given instinct to keep you alive. It's like thirst instinct, breathing instinct, sleeping instinct. Guess what? You have a hunger instinct. You cannot fight it. It will win every time. When you're hungry, what should you do? Yes, as long as it's not for emotional reasons, and that's a whole other number. But if you're hungry, you're truly hungry, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to eat. Just eat what? The best food for you first. That's it. Let's keep it simple, really simple. When we go on diets, what's the first thing we think about? What am I going to have to give up? We all know this. I'm just repeating to you what you already know. What are we going to have to give up? And what's the first thing that happens when we think we have to give something up?
That's what you want.
That's what we want. The little kid brat in us raises its ugly little head and says what? I'm an adult. I am not giving this up. And so I'm not doing it. Or I'm an adult. I can do this for a while, but I'm not doing it forever. So you go on this diet. You decide you're not doing it forever because you're not going to give something up forever. And then what happens? You don't. And then you go back to eating those foods. And then what happens? You wait. Comes up again. So if next time you decide to go on a diet, please call me. It's like Diet Anonymous. And I will tell you not to go on a diet. Diets don't work. Yes, you might lose weight for the time being, but ultimately you will 98% of the time gain it back. That's what the statistics say in this country. So the first thing we think about is what are we going to have to give up? Now I could stand up here and tell you not to eat all these things, but you know what would happen? Nothing. Nothing would happen. You'd say, oh, you know, that's well and good, but I'm not going to do that. And I understand that. So let's do a new tactic. The new tactic is what? You think addition, not subtraction. You don't literally have to give up anything. You do not have to give up anything, and that's not realistic anyway. When you're saying, if you say to me, I'm going to give up chocolate forever and ever and ever, I'm going to give ice cream up forever and ever and ever, I'm going to give up meat forever and ever and ever, you're setting yourself up for failure because in this culture, forever and ever and ever is the rest of your life. Are you really going to give something up for the rest of your life in this culture? I'm guessing not. So let's not go there. Let's talk about what we get to add. And the more you fill up on the good stuff, guess what? Then you naturally gravitate away from the stuff that's not so good for you. But that does not mean you can never have it again the rest of your life. It just means you're going to fill up mostly on the good stuff and eat that first. And the good stuff is pretty simple. Your plant foods are the best foods for you. They give you the best nutrition. They give you all the nutrients that you need. They give you the best nutrition for the calorie buck. Plant foods give you the best calories, best nutrition for the calorie buck. Eating vegetables is like eating air. And I'm sure you've looked at the calories before. That's why in Weight Watchers they say you don't have any points when you eat certain vegetables because there's hardly any calories. Yet you get the best nutrition in those vegetables and also in the fruit. So here you have, when you're thinking addition, you're thinking of fruits, you're thinking of vegetables, you're thinking of whole grains. Whole grains are not breads. I could give a whole thing on that. Whole grains are not breads. Breads are processed and fractured, even if you make them yourself. No matter what, they've got stuff in them. They have to have sugar in them in order for it to rise. And almost always it has salt in it, and a lot of times it has oil in it as well. So breads are fractured grains, not whole grains. Brown rice, whole oats, those are whole grains. So there's a difference there. And some people don't even do well with whole grains. And whole beans, that means legumes. You know, pintos and black beans and you know, kidney beans and like peas, split peas, those kinds of things. Also raw nuts and seeds, but if you're trying to lose weight, do not Do not eat nuts in moderation, just in little bits, because they have a lot of calories. So it'll sabotage you. So have them. They'll help fill you up, but just have a little bit of them. Don't have a lot. And then also homemade juices. I'm a juice queen. I've been doing juices for 30 years. I think they're really important, but it's sort of a dance class. I wouldn't start there. Okay. Take your worksheets out and put your name and date on the top. It's the 19th. If you don't have a pen, we do have pens. You need a pen, though? Oh, you have a pen. Do you need a pen, Joe? You don't need a pen. Oh, you do need a pen. You need a pen? Just slip out there and go get one. Yeah. So put your name and date. And then right underneath that, and putting your name and date on there is important. This is yours. This is for you. And then right underneath that, my most important one-year goal. So do you have your calendars with you? Okay, open up your calendars. If you don't have one, we have others. So did you do your homework, by the way? Anybody you did your homework? And so you did your one-year goal, your most important one-year goal. Some of the ones that were here from last time. Did you do your homework? Joe? What? No? Oh, goodness. Okay, so you go, these are on the inside cover of the calendars. You'll see examples of one-year goals. I want you to pick out the most important one-year goal and put it on your yellow sheet. If it's weight loss, it should be no more than 30 pounds. So a one-year goal for someone who needs to lose weight, it should be no more than 30 pounds. If it's 20, that's fine, or 15, that's fine, or 10, that's fine, but it should be no more than 30. So my most important one-year goal for that person would be what? 30 pounds down. 30 pounds down. It could be something else, but it has to be specific. It can't be just feeling better or, just something nebulous. It has to be really, really specific. I want to get down to a size 14 from an 18. That's really specific. It should be no more than 2 sizes down. I mean, to be realistic, no more than 2 sizes down. So do that. Is everybody done? So one-year goal. And then underneath that, why? What is the gut reason why you want to lose 20 pounds? I mean, the gut reason. Don't think about it too much. In your guts, in your heart of hearts, in your soul, why do you want to reach that goal? Maybe it's so you can be around for your grandchildren. Maybe it's so you can be around for your children. Maybe it's so that you don't die of cancer the way your sister did. I don't know what it is, but just think in your guts. What means a lot to you? It might mean just because you want to get into your pants. That's a good reason, but it has to be your reason. So I want you to write that down. So your big why. Why do you want to do this? You love your husband. You want to be around for a long time and have that relationship with him. So write that down. You want me to help you, Cynthia? Oh, you're waiting for a pen. And then right underneath that, most important 1-month goal. So think of a 1-month actions, 1-month goal. Like, for instance, if you want to lose 30 pounds, that's 2.5 pounds a month. If you want to lose 20 pounds, that's 1.5 pounds a month. So you're breaking that down into a month. So if you want to lose 20 pounds, that's 1.5 pounds a month. Does that sound doable? It does, doesn't it? It is doable. If you want to lose 30 pounds, that's 2.5 pounds a month. Is that doable in a year? Absolutely, it's doable. It's reasonable. Does that sound like enough weight to lose? Is someone disappointed because they think it's not enough weight to lose? Yeah, but the others it didn't work before, did it? So let's do something that's reasonable and that'll set you up for success. Not to set you up for failure the way we have failed again and again and again. Let's set ourselves up for success. So your most important 1-month goal For a weight goal, it is that amount of weight you need to lose in a month's time. Does everybody do that? We done? Okay. So the rules. What are the rules again? 3 rules. Tell me out loud. Add, stop, and wiggle. So add, stop, and wiggle. So if you get off track tonight, does it matter? No. You just get back on track, add, stop, and wiggle. Okay, for breakfast, let's think about this. The rules are add the best food for you first. See, if you learn how to think this through on your own, then you don't need me chirping in your ear all the time. That would get pretty nasty. Ask my daughter. She's living with me right now. My daughter and I are domestic partners right now. We get along really well, too. And I get spoiled because she makes salads and things for me. So for breakfast, think about it. Logically speaking, what are the best foods for us to add for breakfast in the morning? Fresh fruits. Now, there's a lot of yeah-buts out there when you start talking about just eating fresh fruits for breakfast. But you know what? Just try it. Just try it. But the trick is what? Add, which means you have to fill up on what? Fill up on the fresh fruits. You can't just eat 1 apple and think you're going to be full. And so literally, myself, I eat up to 10 whole fruits before noon. Does that mean that you have to eat 10 whole fruits before noon? No. But you need to eat as much fruit that fills you up and genuinely fills you up, and you will not know that at first. So you just start playing with this. Start playing with it. And it's not an all or nothing thing, and it's going to be a process. And sometimes you say, oh, I just don't want this or whatever. That's okay. Remember, you have wiggle room. So let's do 80% of the time you're going to eat fruit for breakfast. I want you to list some of the fruits that you like and put them down right there for breakfast. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Would this fill you up? Would that fill you up? Would that, whoops. Would that fill you up? Could you eat all that? 4 bananas, 2 apples, 2 oranges, a pear, and I forgot the pineapple, which is back there. Not the whole pineapple, well, unless you're me, but part of a pineapple. Would that fill you up? And do you think that would satisfy your hunger drive? Absolutely would. Not only that, it stops the cravings later down the line. So you just have to eat enough. Most people could not eat 4 bananas. I eat 4 bananas real easily. I don't know what to tell you. I do. I eat way more than you do. So that's 9 pieces of fruit right there. That would be enough to fill you up. No. He said, no wonder you're so fat eating all that. See? No, I love this story. I go to Sunny Farms a couple times a week, and well, now actually it was at Sunny Farms, but now I buy my avocados where at Costco. But I was getting all my avocados at Sunny Farms, and I'd buy 12 to 18 of them at a time for myself, just myself. And so one day the gal at the desk who knows at the checkout stand, of course, knows me at this point, small town, and she goes, Leslie, aren't those avocados fattening? And I go, you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words, literally. And she looks at me and she says, oh, I get it. So, did you write some fruits down that you like? And you know, one of the things that people say to me is, you know, in the wintertime you can't find fruit. And I say, you kidding me? It's everywhere. It might not be exactly the cherries you want, or exactly the nectarines you want, or exactly the peaches you want at the time, but you know what? We have enough fruit. We're just spoiled Americans. Go to Costco, and then you can go to Sunny Farms, and you can find plenty of fruit. And is it organic? Not necessarily, but who cares? You just find fruit. That's real food. You want the real food that goes from the ground and grows from the trees. What are the foods? If you get confused, because it's confusing out there with all that information, if you get confused about what are the foods that are best for you, ask yourself the question, okay, what are the foods that prevent cancer? Fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables. What are the foods that prevent strokes? Fruits and vegetables. What are the foods that prevent weight gain? Fruits and vegetables. What are the foods that prevent diabetes? Fruits and vegetables. The biggest culprit in diabetes too is not fruits. And is not even refined carbohydrates. The biggest culprit in diabetes, and we're going to talk about that later in the year, is what? Does anybody know? Fat. It is not sugar. And then sugar becomes a problem later on. So for breakfast, put your fruits down and put your wiggle room down. So if you were to wiggle for 2 breakfasts a week or 1 breakfast a week, what would that be?
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal. Yeah, it could be oatmeal. Oatmeal is actually good.
Brown rice.
Brown rice. I mean, just think about it. I mean, you want to go out to brunch once a week with your husband or whatever, so think about what your wiggle room is going to be and put it down. You know, sometime you might decide not to do that. But what'd you say?
Oat waffles.
Oat waffles. There's wiggle room. And what do you put on the oat waffles? Fruit. That's good.
Honey.
Yeah, but what do we really want to put on it?
And butter.
Butter, syrup. I know, I'm right with you. So, okay, if as you get hungry during the morning, you're going to fill up on what? On the fruit. So you eat enough to fill you up. And what happens is this: your brain says, okay, I'm full. I don't need to eat anymore. How many apples are you going to eat at one time? I'm the only one probably that could eat 2 at one time. You're going to eat 1, and then your brain's going to say, okay, that's enough. I'm full. I'm satisfied. That's enough. And then are you going to be hungry in a half an hour? Probably. And then what do? Eat another piece of fruit. Are you busy at work? I'm busy at work. We're all busy. So what? You just put an apple in your mouth and chew. You know, almost every job you can do that unless you're a surgeon. Or unless you work in a coal mine or something like that. But almost all the jobs in SQUIM, and a lot of you don't have jobs anymore outside of the home, so you don't even have any excuses. So that works well. So stop eating fruit about 45 minutes before lunch. Write it down. I don't have that on your worksheet. So stop eating fruit about 45 minutes for lunch. And this is not a law. It's a suggestion. Don't mix the fruit with other things.
Why?
Because it creates gas. Indigestion. You know that gas thing that happens? Yeah. It's harder to digest. It makes the proteins ferment. No, it makes the proteins rot, and it makes the other carbohydrates ferment. So try to keep fruit by itself. Sometimes people have trouble eating fruit, but actually it's because you're combining it with other things. So I suggest you try to eat it by yourself. Again, it's not a law. And actually tomatoes and cucumbers and avocados, they're really fruits, and I eat them with salads. So you see? So I'm not perfect at that. So for lunch, what's the perfect? Again, look at the rules. Add the best foods for you first. So in this culture, what's the most convenient, easiest thing to eat for lunch? Salads. Now, is that like a cottage cheese salad? Or a potato salad or a macaroni salad? Is that what I'm talking about? That's what people think sometimes. No, it's a vegetable salad. We call it 10-10 salad. Put 10 different vegetables in your salad. This is tricky because we were brought up to eat this much salad with iceberg lettuce and a slice of tomato and cucumber. That's what we were brought up with. Therefore, we think our salads should be that big. Our salads need to fill us up. That's the challenge. It's eating enough salad to actually fill us up. And all of a sudden your brain says, you know what? You're done. When you're done, you're done. Quit eating. So I'm not quite sure it's because you're tired of chewing or whether your brain is just really satisfied. I think it's a little bit of both. But after a while, you know what happens? You stop eating. I mean, how much salad can you eat? Well, I'll show you how much salad I can eat.
Oh my God.
Well, would it fill you up? This is for the back row, back in the corner. Would it fill you up? Look at that. Would that fill you up? Now, do you usually make a salad for about 12 people that's that big? Yes. No. That's for me. Would it fill you up? Yes. You just have to eat enough to fill you up. Now, if you have certain digestive problems, you have diverticulitis, and you have different difficulties, you have to be sensible. So be sensible. But the bottom line is, as you get better and better, your digestive system heals and gets better and better, you can eat as much salad as you want unless you really have some kind of medical problem. And so you want to eat enough salad to fill you up, and you want 10 different vegetables in it. So this will satisfy your hunger drive. How long will it take to get hungry after eating a salad like this? Maybe 2.5 hours. I mean, you really do get hungry more quickly. And we are trained not to eat in between meals because you know what happens? You get too many calories and you gain weight. And our mothers taught us not to do that. I mean, my mother had 6 children. Do you think we were allowed in the refrigerator between meals? But we were allowed to get into the apples that were out in our back place that was cool out there, or the peaches, the nectarines, or all the fruit that my mom had out there. We were allowed to take any of that we wanted, but we were not supposed to go into the refrigerator. And I can still hear her saying, can you hear your mom still saying? Am I the only one that had a mother like that? No, I think it's a generational thing. Would you kids get out of the refrigerator? I can still hear her saying that. She didn't want us in there. So she was teaching us what? We have 3 meals a day, and once we're done with our 3 meals, we're done. We did not eat in between meals. So I would fill up. Now, if this salad without the avocado is about 200 calories, 200 calories. That means you can add 5 of these salads every day. Would that fill you up? I guess so. It would definitely fill you up. So you see, the idea is this. Eat the best food for you. It's going to have the fewest calories, and you have to eat enough to fill you up. This would fill you up, and if you had 5 of these things, it would fill you up. Do I have 5 salads like this a day? No. I have one this big, and I might have another one in the evening, but a lot of times not. This will be my midday meal, and this is enough to keep me going, and then I might have fruit later on, but that's my own little secret. But that's without the avocado. Ooh. Oh, that's without the avocado. If you have an avocado, that is 300 calories. So if you're having a salad and the avocado, that's 500 calories. That's okay. That's okay, and you're getting the best nutrition. I have 2 avocados in my salad. That's 600 calories for an avocado. If you're trying to lose weight, I suggest you not do that. But I have, on the average, 4 avocados a day. Think about it. That's 1,200 calories. I'm not even counting any other calories. What I'm saying, I can't quite figure this out because I don't know how many calories I eat. But bananas are about 100 calories, and if I have 5 bananas in a day, that's 500 calories. And if I have 4 avocados, that's 1,200 calories. That means that's 1,700 calories just in bananas and avocados. That doesn't count all the other food that I'm eating. So you can imagine how many calories I'm getting every day. And yes, I expend calories every day, but you do not expend nearly as many calories as you think you do when you exercise. It takes 11 miles to walk off 1 pound of fat. So what I'm saying to you is the better nutrition you get, the better your body works, and the better it can do with the calories what it's supposed to do if you're getting it from really good food. Because I know I have a lot of calories, probably way more than any of you in here. I don't get it. I haven't even read anything about it, but something happens when you're eating really good calories from really good food. I don't know exactly what it is, but something does happen. So if you are trying to lose weight, I would say by all means, especially if you're not wiggling too much, by all means have an avocado in your salad. So on your little sheet, write down the 80% of the time, what you're going to do is fill up on salad first, and then you're going to have wiggle room, which means that, sometimes you're not going to want to do that. Okay. Then what would you like? You want a ham and cheese sandwich? Do you want to go get a hamburger? Do you want to eat whatever? What else would you want? Oh, soup is okay. So soup is not wiggle if it's vegetable soup. If you put cream and all that stuff in it, soup is okay. That's not wiggle. Soup is okay if it's more of a vegetable soup and not so much meat. If it's a meat soup, then you're wiggling more. But soup is good, but anything raw is better. So if you read in your calendars, I have feed me foods and deplete me foods in there. And so it'll give you feed me food and deplete me foods. So feed me foods, the best ones are what? Raw. And you could also change up your salads. You don't have to make them so boring like mine. You can change them up and put in beans. You can put beans in there, rice in there, couscous in there, something that you think is more filling to you. But be careful with that. If you have too much of that and not enough salad, then you're not going to lose the weight that you want to lose, and you're not going to have the energy that you want and the health and that. So be careful with that. And the salad dressing. That could be a glitch, this salad dressing. And I've probably tried 100 different salad dressings as I was been going through salad dressings through my lifetime. And I gravitated more towards this commercial salad dressings that did not have the oil in it, because the oil is extra calories and we don't need fat to add to our fat. So I gravitated towards the commercial dressings that have water in them, not oil. So they have water. But even those, they have these chemicals in them and sugar in them and stabilizers in them, and plus the ones you could get at Sunny Farms, which I thought were probably better. They were also expensive. You just get a little bottle, and I eat all these salads. So after a while, I got tired of doing that. So then I started doing the olive oil, balsamic vinegar, lemon, and herbs and things. I started doing that. And then I started really, really, really getting reading and getting strict with myself, and I realized that olive oil is not a good fat. So I decided I did not want to add the extra oil to my body and the extra calories. So then I said, well, I don't need the olive oil. So this is literally what I do now. I take an avocado and I dice it. And by the way, my salads are cut up really finely. They're not these great big leaves. I cut them really finely. So it's hard for me. I'm such a spoiled brat now. When I go into a restaurant, I don't have an avocado in there, and the great big chunks of lettuce leaves. And I have to say, I'm just so turned off by that now. But what I do is cut up everything finely, and then so it's easier to just chew. And so then you take an avocado, and you dice up an avocado finely as well. You put the avocado in there, if you like avocados. Does anybody not like avocados? Julie, I was the same way, like probably I say 6 or 7 years ago. I absolutely hated avocados. It's the slime. It was almost like the texture thing to me. Yeah, it was a slimy thing. And I just did not like avocados. And I just decided, well, if I was going to really eat like this and eat a lot of raw foods, I better start liking avocados because they were just really filling. And so I started putting them on salads and cutting up really finely. And then I got past the slime part. If it's sort of become smooth and creamy, like, Julie, do you like guacamole? No. So you might not like, yeah. It's a slimy thing. Because human beings don't like slime. No, it's really true. Think about it. We don't like slime, and we don't like hair. If you go to a restaurant and you find a hair in your food, do you ever go back ever again the rest of your life? Never. So you don't like slime, you don't like hair. So the avocado, if you can make it so it's not a slimy thing, you might be able to get through it. But anyway, what that does, you put the avocado in there, a half a lemon. Here it is right here. Half a lemon, and you go, I mean, literally, I just go like that. And then I take balsamic vinegar. So this, that you can get at Sunny Farms. You can also get it at Costco. I don't like the Costco. I don't like that. I like the organic better myself. And you get it where you want. I don't like the Costco. It's too strong. But there's also at Safeway. I think you can get this. I'm pretty sure. I usually get it at Sunny Farms. But I just put the avocado on it. I put the lemon on it and the balsamic vinegar. Don't measure anything. And the balsamic vinegar, after a while, you know how many shakes you're going to put on it. And literally, then I just stir it. Stir it, 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 stir it. And the avocado coats everything, and the lemon coats everything, and this coats everything. And if you don't like this, then try a different kind of vinegar, any kind of vinegar you like. And in the world out there, they say this is not maybe so good for you either, but you know what? Oh well. And so that's a good way of putting dressing on it. And most people, 3/4 of people that I tell that to, they like it. They like it. And if you decide you don't like it, that's okay. Just use a dressing of your choice. The dressing you want, just don't use as much. It's better to use a dressing of your choice. If you're not used to different kinds of dressings, and that's the only way you're going to eat salad, who cares? That's your wiggle then. Just try not to do so much salad dressing that you're sabotaging yourself with the calories. So 2 hours or 2.5 hours later, you're going to be hungry after eating a salad like that. So what do? You eat again. And by the way, you might not know at first. In fact, you won't. You won't know how much salad fills you up. Remember this. This is not your last meal. I mean, I hope it's not your last meal. So therefore, if you get hungry in a half hour or an hour because you did not eat enough, you don't go without food, you eat again. It is not your last meal. I think we go out to eat and we go out to lunch and we think it's our last meal or something. We're so addicted to this food. We just have to really stuff ourselves and fill up and we're afraid we're going to go hungry. Is anybody here going hungry? No, none of us are going hungry. This is not our last meal. So therefore, just give yourself permission to experiment with your food and realize, no, it's not going to be a perfect science at first. After a while, though, it gets better and better, so it becomes automatic. And when you eat like I do, trust me, I'm really lazy when it comes to this food. And I don't want to spend a lot of time doing this food thing. I just want to put it in my mouth and chew and get it down, and then I want to be done with that. So after a while, it becomes more automatic. So eat again when you're hungry. What's a good choice for snacks? And you'll see at the bottom of your page. What's a good choice for snacks? So let's say 80% of the time you're going to eat good snacks. What are the good choices? Fruit and vegetables. So you know what you can do? Raw nuts are good too. Don't have too many. Seeds are good too. Don't have too many. If you're trying to lose weight, dried things are not the best thing. People will ask me that. Anything that's dense like that and doesn't have water in it, so you have a dried date, it's just not, or a fig, something dry that's, it's just not as good for you. Well, it's denser and it pulls weight in, and it's sugary, and so that makes you thirsty, and so all that pulls weight in. You want things that have high water, foods that have high water content. The more foods with high water content that you eat, which are your fruits and vegetables, if you're trying to lose weight, the better it is. So the best snacks are what? Fruits, and they're really handy. They're so easy. If we just, get the other stuff out of your house. Make a little rule for yourself and say, I can have this stuff, but I'm not putting it in my house. Because as soon as you put it in your house, we eat it, and we eat too much. Give yourself permission to have it, but have it outside your house. But give yourself a little rule and say, okay, I'll have this, but I'm not going to bring it into my house. So it's a treat for you. And if you have other people in your house that want it, you say, honey, I understand, but this stuff here sabotages me, We're all human, and it's hard not to be pulled into the direction of our weaknesses and the foods that we love. So get it out of your house and say, honey, if you want it, you can have it. Just don't bring it into the house. It's not really fair. Don't bring it into the house. You can have it outside the house. So what are some other snacks that would be wiggle snacks? These are true confessions. Wiggle snacks. Nuts, if you have too many nuts. Let's put it this way. What are some snacks that you have now? Popcorn. Chocolate. What else? Ice cream. What about chips, salty nuts, all this snacky food, pretzels. So instead of doing that, you have that outside the house. Inside the house, you try to have your fruits and vegetables. Have your vegetables cut up. And you can put them in Tupperware to keep the vegetables fresh. And just cut them up ahead of time so it's there. Because it's convenience is everything, isn't it? Yes. When you're busy. So make sure it's there. So when you're pulling out a snack out of the refrigerator, or you bring it with you. Women, when we used to have babies in diaper bags with us all the time, and all the little baby stuff. I mean, that's what I feel like now when I go places. I bring my little fruit bag and vegetable bag and nut bag, and I bring everything with me. Whether I'm on a plane, I go to the hotel, we put stuff in our suitcase so that we have stuff to eat the next day. It's really quite interesting, actually, especially when everything gets smashed up. But just remember, travel with some food with you. If you travel with food with you and prepare a little bit ahead of time, then you're going to be all set for the next day. What's a good snack in the afternoon? What's the witching hour, or the bewitching hour? What's a bewitching hour? When do we have the most trouble during the day, besides after dinner? Sometimes after dinner before bed. But during the day, what's that timing? Most of us do really good in the morning. We do, like around 4 o'clock. Isn't that the bewitching hour? And then all of a sudden, we think we're doing good, we think we're doing good, we think we're doing good, and then you have that chocolate in the house, you're like, whoa. And you have the chocolate or the chips or the popcorn or whatever we have. Try this. Make yourself on the weekend or sometime a big pot of beans or soup or brown rice, something that's hot and savory. And if you're working, then you have to bring it with you. But you just plan ahead and bring a little thing with you. Have something like that at 4 o'clock. If vegetables and fruit don't cut it because you're not there yet, then have something more hot and savory, and that'll satisfy you. That really helps fill you up. Jerry just tried that, and that worked, didn't it, Jerry? Right. And it really just sort of satisfies that. And then after you have like bean soup and rice, are you going to have chocolate after that? I don't think so. Well, Doesn't sound so good to me. And then you know what? You're not going to be that hungry for dinner. But that's an okay thing. It doesn't mean that you can't be with your family and make dinner and sit down with them and still have some of dinner. If you're not that hungry at dinner, that's an okay thing, you see? And then you just have a little bit. You can still be with your family and socialize and do the whole family thing at night, which I think is really important. But you don't have to eat exactly what they're eating. Okay, so for dinner, you make one meal. Do not make 2 or 3 meals, because people will come in and say, I have to make 3 meals. And I said, that's crazy. Because you know what happens? That means that you're not going to be eating the foods that are the best foods for you to lose weight and to prevent diseases and keep your weight down. So make one meal, and the rule at dinner is this. It's very simple. Add the best food for you first. So literally, you're going to eat in order. Did I write it down? No. Yeah, I did. 80% of the time, you're going to eat in order. Now, when our moms fed us, how did she feed us? There's 6 kids in my household, and she would serve everything, right? Because otherwise, we didn't have enough food, kind of. You know, we had to make everything even. And so, you know, she'd do the meat, you know, the potato, and then like 2 little sides of frozen vegetables that we had to eat, but that's all we had of the frozen vegetables. Basically, you know, we're raised like that, sort of to me, it was like the meat thing, and then the 2 little vegetables, and then you have potatoes with that. It's kind of. It wasn't always, I mean, once in a while she made home wheat soup and things like that, but it was pretty rare. So this time, now you're going to make a shift. The shift is, rather than centering your meals on the meat, because when you go to a restaurant, what did you have to eat last night? Oh, I had lamb, or I had beef, or I had fish, or I had pasta. Isn't that what we say? We don't say, oh, we went and had some vegetables. And how boring. Or, Mom, what are we having for dinner tonight? What'd your mom say? Chicken or beef or stew, or please get out of my hair. That's what my mom would say that in a nice way. So let's shift our thinking. Our shift is let's center our meals on the best foods for us. Let's center our meals at dinner on vegetables. Let's do that. And so therefore, in order to do that, you're going to eat in order. So what would you eat first? What's the very best food for you? Salad first. So if you had a big salad for lunch and you had it at noon and you don't want a big salad for dinner, then just make yourself a little salad. And while you're making dinner, women and men, if there's men in here that make dinners, just eat your salad while you're doing that. And that sort of cuts your appetite, and it gets you set and ready to eat. But you're not going to eat as much, you see, because you're already eating, so especially if you had a little snack at 4 o'clock. So eat a salad, make sure it's a 10-10 salad. Oh, in the salad, you're going to have 10 different vegetables in it. So vegetables / some fruits, because those vegetables are really fruits. They're really easy to get 10. When I say 10, people who don't know, they go, 10? Do you agree that it's easy to get 10 things in a salad? I have one woman in this audience. She says she gets 18 things in her salad. Alberta says that. She gets like 18 different vegetables in her salad. I don't quite know exactly what they are. I'm sure she could say. But think about it. I count everything. So I do 2 different lettuces, not iceberg lettuce. My kids call iceberg lettuce what? Candy lettuce. So let's get real lettuce. The greener the better. So lettuce, 2 different kinds of lettuce and spinach, and sprouts. That's 4 things right there. Then you can have green peppers or red peppers or orange peppers. You can have radishes, you can have onions, you can have cucumbers, you can have carrots, you can have tomatoes, you can have broccoli and cauliflower and celery and zucchini and yellow squash, whatever it is. So eat, and if you don't like vegetables, anybody in here that doesn't like vegetables? Anybody doesn't like vegetables? Nobody? That's really good. But one way, if someone in your household doesn't like vegetables, this is the one little trick. Like, I don't like raw trees. I mean, raw trees. I don't particularly like raw trees. What are raw trees? Broccoli. I mean, raw trees. So therefore, what I do to get raw trees in my salad, to eat raw trees, what do? I just cut up really, 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 really finely. And then you don't even know it's in there. So just, if you don't like something and you want to try one thing, just cut it up really finely and get it in your salad. That's it. And you can't even taste it. So rather than having any of these big raw trees in there that I don't particularly like, you just cut off the flowers of the trees, and then you do pretty good. You're still getting the broccoli. So you're going to eat in order. You're going to have the salad first, and what's the second thing you're going to have? Probably a steamed vegetable, unless you like your food raw better, which I do. So let's say you're going to have a steamed vegetable. I mean, that's pretty common to have. And well, I'm talking about just trying to transition into something that works for your household. So this is a good thing to do. So you start with a salad, then you're going to have some kind of steamed vegetable. It could be broccoli or cauliflower or zucchini or carrots or beans, and it could be frozen if you want it. I like fresh better, but you could do frozen. So you have that. And then the third thing, have a denser, more filling vegetable. Potato or winter squash, like acorn squash, or yams, or sweet potatoes. And wouldn't that fill you up?
Yes.
That would absolutely fill you up. If I were to tell you you can only have a salad for dinner, would you do that? No, because we're used to being full at dinner time. So it's really important that you have that sensation of being full at dinner, so that a half an hour later you're not getting into the chocolate and the chips and the popcorn. So you really want to fill up at dinner time and make sure you're satisfied and you're really full. So a good way of doing it is eating a denser vegetable, like potato, yams, and squash. And it's, you know, potatoes have a bum rap. I don't know how it all got that, but it did. So potatoes have a bum rap. It's not the potato. Have you heard that? It's what you put on the potato. Potatoes have very few calories. It takes a lot of potatoes to make up, you know, it's just amazing how many potatoes you can eat for not very many calories. So what's something else you could put on a potato besides butter and margarine and sour cream?
Yogurt, salsa.
Yogurt's not the best option. And we're going to talk about that next time. So we'll put the yogurt on hold and talk about that next time. But salsa, you could do salsa.
Beans like a bean soup, but a little thicker.
Bean soup, a little thicker. You should use imagination. You can make a saute with mushrooms, onions, zucchini, and peppers, some kind of saute in water, not oil. And you could use that. Or you could do what I do. I like easy, remember? So I puree up tomatoes and set them aside. And part of the tomatoes I keep in the Cuisinart. I usually use a blender, whatever you want to use. And then I put what? 2 more avocados in there. And literally I just go, and it takes about 10 seconds or less. And then I have this pureed thing that's avocado and tomatoes. And you can put whatever you want in there. You can put onions in it and spices and cilantro or whatever you want to put in there. And I put that on the potato. And then I put the fresh tomatoes on top of that. Does that fill you up? It does. Does it taste great? It does taste great if you like avocado. If you don't, then you think of something else that you can put on there instead of margarine and butter. Remember, you want the most nutrition for your calorie buck. So you want the most nutrition on your potato. So think about trying to put the most nutrition on your potato or yam or squash or sweet potato. And then, so 3 things. First the salad, then the steamed vegetables, and then the potato or yam and squash. Meantime, you're only making 1 dinner, so the people that are with you and your family or friends, they can still eat the way they usually eat. Because you've also made chicken. Let's say you've also made chicken. Oh, by the way, instead of the potato or the squash, you could also do brown rice and beans. So that's another option. And you have that in your calendars. And we're going to do the calendars in just a minute. Oh, my goodness me. Time goes so fast. So you're gonna do, you could do brown rice and beans instead of the potatoes. And then you say to yourself, you ask yourself one question, and it's in your calendar, so you can look in your calendar later. Am I full? That's it. You say, am I full? In the meantime, you have a piece of chicken over there waiting for you. So one of 2 things. Yes, I'm full. So if you say, yes, I'm full, stop eating. Save the chicken for the next night or give it to your husband for lunch the next day. Just save yourself some money and save your body. Garbage disposable are replaceable. You are not. So don't think you're wasting food if you don't eat it. You're wasting food if you put it into your body doesn't need it. And remember, it's not your last meal. So it doesn't mean you can never have that chicken. It just means right then you're full, you don't need it. So don't eat it. Okay, the other answer to that is no, I am still hungry. I still want to eat something. So you can do 1 of 2 things and make a choice. You can eat the vegetables More vegetables that you already had, or not fruit yet. So sorry. No mixing and matching right now. So, or, yes, it is. It's true. It's very true. Or you can have what? The chicken. But look at the strategy. What's going to happen is you're almost already full. So you've already filled up on your vegetables first. And so instead of force feeding yourself and saying, I can only have this much chicken, because that's what happens in diets, you can only have this much chicken, you can have as much chicken as you want because you're already full. And naturally you're going to gravitate towards a smaller portion of chicken that has the cholesterol and the fat and the high animal protein in it, and look at what you've got. You see, automatically you're going to eat less of that. Are you depriving yourself? No. Are you starving yourself? No. Are you saying you can't have that ever again? No. But what you are saying is this: you're going to add the best food for you first and add the chicken last. If you can do it with pasta. You can do it with fish. You can do it with those things that are wiggle. So add the best food for you first, your vegetables, and then your chicken. Now what do you do for after dinner? I hope you're writing this down because you're going to bring this home. So the snacks, what are you going to do for an after dinner snack? Do people eat snacks after dinner? Most people eat snacks after dinner. So you know you're going to eat a snack after dinner, so make sure it's at least 2 hours before you go to bed. If you're not quite hungry yet, but you know you're going to be, then you know what? Close the door before the horse gets out of the barn. So break the rule about not eating until you're hungry and eat something because you know you're going to eat something anyway, so eat it now. And have fruit. Just try that. Just work with that. Make sure you have enough fruit and get the fruit. You can have a smoothie if you want. So just try to work with that and make sure it's 2 hours before you go to bed or longer. Beverages. Water. Or homemade juices are the ideal ones.
No tea?
You can have tea too if it's herb tea. Try to stay away from caffeine. But when I work with people and people say, I drink coffee, I don't even touch the coffee. I don't even talk about the coffee because, you only one thing at a time kind of a thing. So just know that water and homemade juices are the only beverages that are the best food for you. If you want to have the other beverages, just know it's a bunch of calories.
If you buy frozen juice and it's 100% juice, okay.
It's processed and concentrated, so you're getting calories and you're not getting much nutrition. It's better than pop. Or soda, right? It's better than coffee, it's better than alcohol. But then do we want to use those calories for that? I don't know. You just think about those things, Is that orange juice really worth the calories? I don't know. I don't think so. If you make your own orange juice at home, is that worth it? That's worth it because you're getting the nutrition. By the time something's cooked and processed, a lot of the nutrients are gone, but you're getting the calories. So in our beverages alone, Katie used to drink lattes, and she came in one day and she says, I have figured out that I have a latte every day, and that latte gives me an extra day of calories in a 7-day week. Do you understand what I'm saying? The lattes alone gave her an extra day of calories, so she was gaining 8 days of calories just from the lattes. Is that worth it? I don't know. You have to choose for yourself. What's your big why? Look back at your big why. Why are you doing this? Keep that in your mind. Remember what the coach said to Kincaid. Keep this in your mind and look back at your goals. Why are you doing this? And make it real to yourself. And if it's really real and you're down and dirty with it, it's going to get to your guts. It's going to make you cry. Because the bottom line is you want life. You want life for yourself and you want life for your family. So if you're really thinking about it and you're really connected into yourself, you want life. That's what you really want. And get connected in that what you eat gives you life or it gives you early death. That's the bottom line. It gives you life and energy and relationships and joy, or it gives you premature death is what happens. So the exercise program. So do something that you will do. Not what you think you should do, but something you will do. So let's say you're not exercising at all. Something that I will walk how many times a week? 3 times a week for 10 minutes at a time. Is that admirable? Absolutely. You want to go from where you are to the next level. Do something that you'll feel good about and you'll be successful at. And on alternate days, I will do what? How many times a week for how many minutes? So remember, this is yours. This is your program. So what works for you? No one else has to see that and stick to it. Like the coach said to Kincaid. And to all the track members, look at your goal, read your goal, and get it in your forefront of your head, and then you stick to it. You prepare, you prepare, you prepare. That's what we're doing tonight. You're preparing. And we're just giving a little inkling of that preparation. So I want you to take out your calendars now. I'll show you how to use these. If you want this, these are the kinds of things I go through in my 10-10 consults. If you want a 10-10 consult, we just get more specific and I help you do this, and we start talking about some of your own blocks, and we try to really blast through those blocks. But this gives you just a skeleton sketch of that. So this is really valuable information. It's absolutely the information I work with people in my office. So here you go. You have your 1-year goal. Number 1, 1-year goal. I would like you to fill in all those, not right now. You go home and fill it in. What are your goals? What do you want for yourself in a year's period of time? Where do you see yourself in a year's period of time? Specific action steps. Okay, so now that we sort of have a plan, these are specific action steps. Fruit, these are the 5 major ones that I talk to people about. Number 1, fruit in the morning. That's an action step. So I want you to put that in the front, if that's one of them, unless you don't want to do that. So do that. At least one 10-10 salad a day, and preferably I'd do it for lunch. Because it's the center of your day, and it really helps stop the cravings, and it helps satisfy your hunger drive. But that salad in the middle of the day, I cannot tell you how important it is. If I don't get a salad in the middle of the day, that's when I start going crazy. I can do so much fruit, but then by 1 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I'm done with fruit. I want to have a salad. I don't know exactly what it does, but it grounds me down. It doesn't stop my energy level. My energy stays high, but it just settles me down and grounds me down, and emotionally as well. So I don't know exactly what happens with that, but it's very important, that salad in the middle of the day. If you just have soup in the middle of the day, it doesn't do the same thing. The raw vegetables really is key. So I say fill up on a salad. That's an action step. Another thing is planning is very important, so that could be an action step. Okay, I need to plan. I need to go on a little field trip to the grocery store and figure out what I need to buy now, because it's not a habit anymore. You have to think about it. So you need to plan ahead and you need to prepare ahead. And if you're working all day, like Jan works all day, so Jan would need to make a salad the night before, probably, and bring it to work with her. So it just depends. So number 4 could be snacks. What are you going to do for snacks? You're going to do healthy snacks. You're going to do fruits and vegetables for snacks. Number 5 could be dinner, eat in order. That's all. Dinner, eat in order. Do you have to give anything up? No. Dinner, make the dinner for your family, and then you're going to eat in order. And then number 6 could be the exercise program. Okay, now open this up. Go open, and you get to page 6 and 7. On page 6 and 7 in the calendar, this is the calendar I work with my people too. So there's a month. This is January. You can start in the middle of January. This is the first year we took the months out. We used to put the months in, but then this is your calendar for your own calendar for a year. It just happens to be January. If we start in June, then we don't have a year calendar for you. That's why you have to fill in your own little months. So put January in the year, and then your goal, let's say it is weight loss. Your goal for the month, let's say it's 30 pounds, is 2.5 pounds. So it's right there. Month goal, 2.5 pounds, or it might be 1 pound, or it might be half a pound, or it might be 1.5 pounds, depending on how much weight you want to lose. Put your beginning weight right by the seam here, beginning weight, and then on top, I want you to cross out ending weight. And no, don't cross out the weight. Cross out the ending and put goal weight for the month. We've redesigned these for the last 7 years, and every time I look at it, you open up and go, darn, I should have done it this way instead. But anyway, instead of ending weight, put goal weight. So that means your goal weight would be your beginning weight minus 2.5 pounds. So that's your goal weight. And then you're going to put the days of the month in there, and wait till you see how easy this is. Because has anybody done diaries of what they eat and all that? Yeah. And how long does that last for? Now, how long can we do that for? I mean, a day. I wouldn't do it at all. But a day or a week or a month, I mean, you can't do that forever. I mean, we've got to do other things besides just writing the food down that we eat. I mean, we have a life to live, so let's be practical. So the team, Diane and Katie, Diane isn't with me anymore, but they are the ones that are really responsible for thinking of the calendar because they're girly girls and I don't do calendars, but they came up with this brilliant idea. So anyway, so here you have your action steps at the bottom. You already did your action steps, so transfer the action steps from the front to there. So let's say fruit in the morning, salad for lunch, healthy snacks, eat in order for dinner, and the fifth thing would be exercise, a doable exercise program. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then at the end of put this in your purse, women, or put it by your bed. And at the end of the night, or the end of the day, before you go to sleep at night, you look at this and say, okay, what are the action steps that I completed this day? This takes you no more than 10 seconds. 10 seconds. And you have your diary right here. So if you did only 1, 2, 3, you put 1, 2, and 3 down because you didn't exercise that day and you didn't eat dinner in order. Okay, you put the 1, 2, 3 down. So you have a record of what you've done, but it's really a simple way of doing it. This is the best part. At the end of the month, Alberta, do you have a calendar with you?
I just have this one.
Do you have anything in it?
No,
Oh, you don't have anything in it. Okay.
they're at home.
Alberta uses 3 calendars. That's dedication. One for exercise and one for her stats, her statistics, and one for her food. But anyway, at the end of the month, look at what happens. You're going to look at your calendar. You're going to see all the numbers in there because you're going to have a lot of numbers in there. And then you're going to say to yourself, look at all the things I did right. And in the end, the weight, that number at the top, doesn't make a bit of difference. In the end, we really want to try to accomplish that. But for you to be able to just start thinking in the right direction and start processing in the right direction, remember, it's a shift in thinking. So it's not so much that you lost X amount of pounds. It's more, okay, I'm thinking in the right directions. I'm eating more food. I'm eating better food with better nutrition. And look at all the things I did right. Now, if you're a little bit disappointed because your weight didn't shift enough, now you also have a record to see, well, what didn't I do so much? And maybe I need to do more of this. Maybe I didn't have the salads that I should have had. Maybe I could have had more fruit in the morning. So you start looking at this and use it as a tool and as a guide. This is genius. And it works really well if you'll work it. So it's really important that you work it. And then you get to the next month. So you turn the page, the next month, the same thing. You put the month in, the year in, and then you lose so many pounds. And then the beginning weight, obviously, is from what? You get it from over here. And then you have your year right here. So your goal, if it's 30 pounds, it's 2.5 pounds a month. You look at this little calendar. And then it gives you all the little tips in the beginning, the rules, add, stop, and wiggle, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then in the back, it has the weight chart. The weight chart. And then when we have this weight loss group now, we call it Pants Party, and we meet on Wednesdays. And we measured to see if we were small, medium, or large frame, because everybody thinks they're large frame. But it was really interesting to do that. And some people are larger than you think they are. Like Katie, I've been telling her, who works in my office, I've been telling her forever she's small frame. She wasn't small frame, she was medium frame. She was happy. So anyway, there's a way of measuring that. I don't think I put that in here, but I do have that in my book. So that shows you how to use the calendars. So now when you go home, you could just stop real quick tonight and get some fruit. So you have fruit ready for tomorrow. And then you can also get some fruit and vegetables. You'll have some fruit and vegetables tomorrow, so you can pop right into this. You know what? You're not going to be perfect. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. So you just want to take, literally, you want to take one baby step at a time. Let's do this once more. So this is my challenge to you. And I'll say it once more because if you're like me, I have 2 brain cells. Information in one brain cell and out the other. So I'll say it one more time. Dare to be special, because you are special. Set a goal. You have your goals down there. So set a goal. Look at the goal. Remember your goals. Dare to be good and dare to be great, because you are great. And dare to be what? A champion. And you want to be the champion of who? Of yourself. That's the most important thing. The will to win is the will to prepare to win. So just stay in there, stay in the ring, and know that you are preparing to win. And what you're winning and the prize at the end is what? It's your body working the best it can be. It's your emotions being the best they can be. It's your spirituality being the best it can be. You can do it. So just prepare to win. So thank you so much for coming.